Okay, hi all, good morning. So we have discussed yesterday common table expression, okay, but we will discuss this again when I will cover this advanced SQL window function. Okay, so I will cover this again because maybe you can find more application there. But syntax wise, was that clear? You understood the syntax of that? Any question on that?
Yeah. No.
Okay, so you might be thinking that we can do that particular task using subqueries as well. Then why CT expression I have to use? Okay, so when I will teach you this rank dense rank, no, I will teach you that CT expression again. We will discuss it again. Okay, not a consent. Okay, any question on concatenate which we have discussed yesterday? Was that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure assignment yesterday because I was a bit confused that this CT expression was clear or not. Okay, that's the reason. And one more thing that the assignments which I'm going to share from now onwards, today onwards. So you guys have to run that on editor, okay, and take the screenshot and share that on Excel sheet. Okay, that's what I want.
Yeah. Okay.
Now coming to constraints. Okay, I will show you some example of constraints, what this is all about. Let's discuss that. Before that, let me create a table. Let me know if there is an issue.
Yeah, sir.
Voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, your voice is little bit buffering.
Buffering. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Yeah. Yes, that for me or Prasad, you to experience that or. We are able to hear, sir, but in between there is a slight buffer lagging.
Let me check the connection actually. How is it now?
Yeah, I think now it's better. Yeah.
Check this connection. Sometimes this connection will be bad. How is it now? Still problem is there?
No. Now it's clear, very clear.
Okay, let me know if it's still you face the problem.
Yeah.
Try to change the location. Actually, I have shifted to some other place, okay, because at the earlier place where I used to take sessions, no, so a lot of noise and all those things will happen. So I have shifted to some other location, but I think at this location there is some network issue. So again, I have to find some other location. Okay. Perfect. So we will be discussing about constraints today. Okay. So for that, I'm trying to create a table. And this is the table we have created. Hope you all are aware of this table creations and text and all those things. So here we are creating employee table. I have employee ID as a column, number, first name, last name. I mean employee ID as primary key. Okay. Now I'm trying to insert data into this, insert into employee. Employee values, like this is the syntax whenever you want to insert a data. Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to insert this, but this is throwing error. Why this is throwing error? What is the reason?
Yep. Because in first name you mentioned as not null condition.
Correct. Because in first name, I have mentioned that it is a not null, right? First name is a not null. It means this is a mandatory column.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a mandatory column. We have discussed all these things earlier, I think in the very beginning, right? So that's why this is throwing error message that you cannot insert null into this first name column because they have mentioned that this is not null mandatory, and that is why SQL engine is not accepting it. Hope this is clear. So this is again a constraint. Okay, this is a constraint at table level. This is known as constraint. That's all. Okay. Similarly, suppose if I will give here name as a, but if I will keep this as null, then what will happen?
Yes, same error will throw.
Same error will come. Why?
Yeah, because last name also you mentioned condition as not null.
Right. So here I mentioned last name as well, not null. You can see here, no, I mentioned last name as not null, but I'm
Yeah.
trying to pass null value here. So SQL engine will again throw error message. So this is an example of constraints. So if in the interview you're getting this question that tell me some constraints at the table level. So this is a very simple one you can explain, and you can explain with the help of this example as well. Okay. But suppose if you're working in a project and you have to test this, that okay, this is the table. Please test this table, newly built table. Okay. So you should test the structure of a table. Okay. Then this is the structure you are going to test, that this particular values are there or not. Suppose the requirement by the business analyst or the stakeholder is that boss, I want first name and last name. These two values must be there at any cost. Okay. And developer, they have not given this condition of not null. So it means that is a defect. Okay. So you have to be careful when you're testing a table, the structure of a table. You should think about the constraints, what all are mentioned, FRD, functional requirement document, or in some project they will tell requirement a specification or whatever name. Okay. So this is an example of constraint, and I think you all know this. And you all are clear with this. Any question on this not null constraint?
No.
Hope this is clear. Okay. Now, for those who has joined now, I have told that I will repeat that CT expression again when I will be discussing those analytic functions and the window functions. No, so I will again repeat that CT expression because you can find more application there and then you can correlate it in a better way. And that is the reason I have not shared any assignment yesterday. Okay, so now if I will try to insert this, let's see what is going to happen. Record is inserted, right? One row inserted, and if you want to check it, you can write this query, select star from employee. Okay, I got all this data. Okay, suppose I executed this query in production. Okay, I executed this query in production environment. Is this a good practice? What is the problem with this query if I'm running in production environment?
No, actually, we need to mention any limit on top of selecting command.
Why I want to mention limit? What is the reason?
Because if we run this query like this, select star from means, it will try to execute all the record which present in the table. So we need to limit that for better optimization.
Okay. See, writing a query is one thing, and writing an optimized query is the another smart thing. So always whenever you're writing a query, you must think about the performance. That is very important. Very, very, very important. Okay. Suppose you're searching something on Google and it's taking 5-second time. You will not be happy with the performance, right? So
Yeah.
your query, if you're executing and it is taking more time to fetch the result, it means there is some performance issue. Here you have mentioned a star, correct? No? Here you have mentioned a star. At the very beginning, I mentioned star means everything. So if you have mentioned a star, so you are giving more tasks to SQL engine, correct? Because SQL has to fetch all the columns. That's a more hectic task. So that is why try to give as much less task as possible to the SQL engine. Your performance will be better. Is that clear? Now tell me, the first query will run faster or the second query? This query, line number 10, will give a better performance, or line number 11 will give a better performance?
Line number 11, I guess.
Why?
We mentioned that which column we need to print.
Correct. So here the task which I am giving to SQL engine, that is less as compared to line number 10.
Yeah.
right? Suppose you went to market and your mother told you that, okay, bring potato, onion, and tomato. Now you have three tasks, right? You have to bring three vegetables. Next day, and your mother is telling that bring potato only. This task is easy, right? So you
Yeah.
have less column, less vegetable to buy, less number of items to buy, right? So similarly, you have to be very specific with the column which you want. Okay. Suppose someone executed this and I told that I want only employee ID. Then he can tell that, okay, fine. Don't bother about first name and last name. I have shown you employee ID. You told employee ID is there, no? Why you're bothered that first name and last name column is coming extra? Be happy, I'm giving you extra. But I am happy, but this is the extra task for SQL engine. He has wasted time for this. SQL has utilized the CPU, disk space, input, output, memory, right? So that becomes more costly. So that is why we should restrict using a star. Hope this is clear. Any question, guys?
No.
Clear to everyone? Mrinal, Pritish, Prasad. Any question?
Yes, clear.
Yeah. Do not need to express the whole table.
You don't need to write the star, and I told you the consequences of that. This will badly impact the performance. Okay. If it is required, if it is required that no, I want all the columns, then you can write. Okay, that's not a problem. But if you want only one column, then why you want to write a star, and you will give the justification that why you're bothered about all the columns. I'm giving you employee ID. Okay. Hope this is clear. Now, no. Actually, I was teaching you something else and I moved to performance part. And this is D. Let me execute this. Oh, I got error message, unique constraint. Why is this error message?
Where primary key is ID is defined as a primary key and it cannot be duplicated.
Very good. Here I mentioned employee ID as a primary key. Okay, you all can see I mentioned employee ID as a primary key. And we all know primary key cannot be duplicated. So here I'm trying to insert a record, new record with the same ID. You can see employee ID is same. Earlier we have a record with ID 1. Again, I'm trying to insert a record with ID 1. That is why SQL engine is throwing error message that unique constraint. It means you have mentioned that employee ID is primary key. It means you have mentioned that employee ID must be unique. Then why you are entering a duplicate value of employee ID? That is the problem. Okay, so from this example, I tried showing you two constraints. First one is this not null constraint, which is also known as mandatory, right? And second one is the primary key constraint. Hope this is clear. Now you have few other constraints. I want to show you a few other constraints as well. Or else do one thing, that table. Check. 4 or whatever you want, you can keep it. Issue, okay. Table is created. Okay, before that, let's see the structure of this table. Okay, employee ID not null and all those things. Tell me one thing. In front of employee ID, I have not mentioned anything not null, not null, whatever it may be. But why the not null is coming here?
Your primary key, it's default by unique
So
IDs.
correct. So here I have mentioned employee ID as a primary key. So by default, SQL engine will understand that, okay, this employee ID is a not null column. Okay, hope this is clear. Any question with the constraints? If you don't have any question, I'm trying to insert a value. Yes.
If you want to see all the tables constraint, so we will use describe command, right, to see all the.
No. You have other command. I will tell you. User constraints. You have to use like start from user constraints like that. It will give you all the constraints. Actually, I used to cover that in ETL class, but let me show you that 1 minute. I will show you quickly. Okay, some user constraint command is there. Even I don't know the exact name, but user constraint, something like that is there. 1 minute, give 1 minute. What is that? User constraints. Yeah, user constraint. This is the table name. Select a star from user constraint and where table name. Okay, so you can see all the constraints. It will show you that what all constraints you have. Is this the question you have asked?
Yeah, same.
Okay, perfect. That's the topic of actually ETL. But fine. So now you see here I'm trying to insert a record in this employee table. Oh, there's some error message. What is the reason for this error message? Check constraint is telling there's some check constraint you're violating. What is that check constraint I'm violating?
Employee ID should be greater than.
Employee ID should be greater than 4. Right now, I mentioned here, check employee ID greater than 4. So I'm telling to SQL engine that accept only those employee ID which is greater than 4, right? But here I have passed employee ID 1, and that is why the SQL is telling that check constraint is violated. Oh, this is clear. What if I will make it 5? Record is inserted. Why? Because ID is greater than 4 now. That is why SQL has accepted it. Okay. Now, can you give me a real-time example where we have to check this age?
Voter ID.
Voter ID. Great. Create table. Voter ID. Right? ID. Number. And age. Number. Now tell me what should I write? Check. What I have to write? Come on.
Age.
Age.
Should be greater than equal to 18.
What? 18. Right? So like this, if suppose table is created. Now, if you want to see, insert into the ID table values, comma, suppose give 17 here. If someone whose age is 17 and is trying to enroll for this, so your system will throw error that no, your age is something. You can customize this error message as well. If you know that PL SQL and all those things, no, you can customize this, but don't go in all those details. Okay, you can customize this. Okay, so but you understood this check constraint, and right? Is that clear?
Yes.
So with the help of this, you might have noticed this at very many platforms. If you will enter the values, okay, suppose in banking applications, if they will enter a account number which is less than some 12 or 14 or whatever digits, it will throw error message, no, that your account number is less than this. Or you're filling some application form and you have to enter mobile number. Have you ever tried by giving 9-digit mobile number and what is the error message coming? Will it show any error message or it will accept it? Anyone who has observed this?
Sure.
It show error message.
It show no that okay, this is not a valid mobile number. Something will show no like this. So how they are catching it? Using this only. Okay, you can play with age. You can give some constraint. So guys, these are few of the constraints. Okay, like here I have shown you this mandatory column constraint, then primary key constraint. Okay, then this ID, you can do this ID, age, whatever you want. You can apply a check here that I want this must be greater than this or whatever it may be. Any question? Okay, quickly I will show you here. Like here I have given a constraint like gender in M and F. So it means in this particular column, gender column, the value should be M or F only. If someone is trying to insert male or female, so that should not be accepted. Okay, so like this you can give constraints. Here you can say again constraint that age must be greater than equal to 17. And here like here in this case, I want gender to be male, female, unknown. So if someone is trying to insert gender which is other than these values, the system will throw error message. Hope this is clear, guys. Things now then this is the example. Use all constraints, okay, and then user constraint. Two kind of tables you can use, all constraints and then user constraints. It will show you all the constraints at that particular table level.
Tanvir, we don't have that query that show create table name.
Create table name. Sorry, query. I'm not getting what query you're telling.
Show create table and table name. So it will show the create statement of the table, right?
Okay. Okay. First of all, in which platform you're asking? Oracle or SQL? Microsoft.
I don't know which platform.
I will tell you a shortcut technique. Okay, because always if you want to go with this query, that is fine. Okay, you can execute that. But I will tell you a very shortcut technique if you're working on Oracle platform. Suppose this is the Oracle page. Okay, suppose this is the Oracle page. On the left side, you will be having like here in Microsoft SQL Server, no, you have left side all these values. Okay, and this database and all these things are there. Similarly, if you are working on Oracle, if you are not working, maybe down the line, if you get a chance to work on Oracle, but I think slowly everyone is moving from Oracle to Snowflake, HANA, and all those things, Hadoop. Okay, but it is not like I'm telling Oracle will means it will be overall, it will finish. No, it will be there because RDBMS and structured data, they have their own significant. So I'm not saying that it will be finished, but yeah. So on this lower left side pane, you'll be having all the information about different schema, tables, and all those things. Okay. So if you click on this, it will expand further. Okay. Like suppose here I have this table shopper smart. So you will get information about, okay, this is a table. Again, if you will click on this, it will show all these database diagrams, what all views you have created. Yesterday, I think you were talking about views, no? So you can get the information about views and all those things. Again, if you will click on this table, if it has some tables, it will show this table. And then you can right click. So you will show all the structure. So then a new page will open. And here you will get more detailed explanation about what all constraints it has, the primary key, foreign key relationship, and all those things. So whenever miss in project, if we want to see the structure, we go like this. It can show you the full information.
Okay.
Have I answered your question?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing I've told you then. Okay. So any question on constraints, guys? So the why I taught you this, because generally in interviews you will get questions regarding constraints. They will ask like, okay, what are constraints in a SQL or table level? Tell me a few constraints. So you can tell this mandatory column, not null, and some user defined check constraints like this, all things what I've told you. Then you have primary key, foreign key constraints and all those things. We will discuss that. Primary key, foreign key constraints. Okay, no questions? If you don't have any question, then I am planning to start alter today. This I will try to cover. This is very simple and this is not used very frequently. Okay, but you should know this. Okay, nobody knows which query, which scenario you have to execute at which point of time. So that's why you should know everything. Okay. Suppose this is our same employee table. Table is already there. Let me drop this. Top table employee. is chopped. So suppose this is the table you have created. Okay. In your project, this was the requirement to create an employee table. You have created this table and you have added this 3-column employee ID, first name, last name, and all those things. Okay. And if you want to see the structure, you will use this describe employee and you will see the structure of this. This is the table structure. You know all this story, right? This is old story now for you guys. Okay, now first example of what I'm trying to show. Okay, alter table employee, modify first name varchar 50 null. Okay, so what happened? You have created this table and you have created first name as a not null column. So you're telling that boss first name is a mandatory. Okay, but after some time you got a requirement change. Okay, the business, they have changed the requirement and they're telling that no, first name by mistake we have told that this is not null. We will accept null value as well because we have few clients for which first name is null, something like that, blah blah blah. Okay, overall stories, we have created that table and they came back and they dropped you an email and they're telling that boss, no, we want to change this first name, we can accept null values as well now. So how you can do now? First, one option is to drop this entire table. Okay, then create a new table from scratch. That's the first option. So in that, what you have to do, if you have data in this table, you have to take backup and all those things you have to do. Correct. So with the help of alter command, you can modify the structure of the table. So right, I've written alter table employee. Which table you want to alter? Employee table. That's why you will write here alter table employee. Modify which column you want to modify? I want to modify the first name column. Right here, modify first name. You want to modify this first name and modify first name. What's the data type of this? Varchar 250 or whatever is there. Mention it and then write null. So it means it will be converted to null now. Let me execute this. We'll get this message, table is altered. Now, if you want to check whether it is altered or not, you will execute this describe employee command. Now, can you see first name? What is it? It is null here. So it means your first name can accept null records now. Is this clear, guys?
Do we need to mention the data type also?
Okay, I will come to this. I will tell you. Just 1 minute. I have a few other examples.
Okay.
But before that, is this clear? Any question, anyone? Not sure if this is clear or not. Pritesh, this is clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Clear, okay. Okay. Now, okay. Now, suppose first name we have changed, then we have last name as well. Now, I will show you one more example. I know this will not be used very frequently. Okay, in some of the projects, your DBA will be having access to do this modification. In some of the projects, only developer will be having to do these modifications. And these are used very rarely. Okay, but you should know because you never know when you have to do this activity. Okay, you should know that how you can do all these things. That's what I thought that I should explain this to you. Okay. So now you can see I'm trying to change last name not null to null. Now let's verify is this changed or not. So it is also changed. Okay. Hope this is clear. So whatever column you want to change, just write alter. So the moment you will write alter, your SQL engine will understand that, okay, user wants to change a table. Then you have to mention which table you want to change, which column you want to modify. And like this, you can modify the things. Any question? You guys are not asking questions. Okay, now tell me what I am trying to do here. What I have done here, who will explain? Hello?
Yeah, you are increasing the data type capacity.
I have increased the size here, right?
Yeah.
For the last name, I have increased the size. Earlier, the last name was 5 characters only. Now it is 100 characters. Now you can see it has increased to 100 characters. If you guys remember a couple of days back when I was trying to insert few records, I think that country I was trying to insert, that was throwing error message, right? So at
Yeah.
that time I have told you that, okay, I will tell you that how you can increase the size and all those things. But at that moment I used to drop the table and again I used to create the table, if you guys remember it. So now you have this option. You can increase the size as well. Any question, guys? So far, I have shown you two things, like you can change the constraint on a table. Right, I have shown you that how you can change from not null to null. Okay, and then how you can increase the size of data type, whatever you are using. Earlier, this was varchar to 5. Now I have changed this varchar to 100. I think this is not clear. Let me show you a few more examples. What about this? Altered. So what I have done here,
What
Dhania, what I have done here?
Change the data type from varchar to number.
So what we understood that even we can change the data type. Earlier this was varchar 2. I changed that to number. Okay. Hope this is clear. So what we understood, we can change the constraint, we can increase the size, we can change the data type itself. All these things we can do. Okay.
It will affect the data also because we make the changes from varchar to number.
Okay, sure. See, as a best practice, okay. As a best practice, whenever you are using this alter, first of all, take the backup. That's what I have written here. Okay, take a backup of this table. Okay, how to take backup? Create a table, copy the data from this table to that table. Okay, first of all, you should take a backup. I'm telling you on a safer side because you never know that at certain point of time, your table can crash. Okay, that might happen. Or you are disturbing the primary key foreign key relation. Okay, a lot of things can happen. So don't take any risk on the data part. Take a backup of that, delete the record from this table, and then do this activity. Safer side, I'm telling you. Okay, if you have data, I will show you a few other examples as well if you're interested. Okay, if you have data and if you're trying to do all this activity, that will throw error sometime, or sometime that can be a problem from data perspective. Okay, hope that is clear.
Yes.
Okay, if it is clear, then it is fine. Now I have a question for you guys. Now this is the structure of the table in front of you. You can see this, right? Is the first name mandatory column here?
Yeah.
First name is mandatory.
Yes.
This is mandatory.
No, in this table it's not mandatory. Yeah.
It is not mandatory. No, forget about this. Okay, forget about this structure. Concentrate on this structure. Is the first name mandatory here? Yes or no?
No.
No. Very good. Now I want to make this first name mandatory. Now my business is telling that Tanvir first name is mandatory column. Don't accept any null values. What I have to do? Tell me the command for that. Come on, guys. Quickly, tell me the command. Who will tell?
Alter table employee. And then modify first name.
Modify first name.
Not null.
But I have not written here data type. Data type also have to write null. Is that required?
No, we have firstly defined the data type, so we do not need to define it again if we don't.
Data type. Okay, so I will write not null here. That is what you're telling. Okay. Let me run this. Let me check if it is the correct query or not. Table altered. Okay, let me verify if it is altered or not. Okay, perfect. Correct query Mrinal has told. Okay, so what we understood from this, that we have all the freedom. We can change from null to not null, from not null to null. Both ways we can do. Okay, we have seen both the examples. Hope this is clear now.
Can we rename any column or table name?
We can do that. I will show you that as well. A lot of examples are there coming down the line. Okay. Now you can drop a primary key. Suppose this is employee ID. I don't want this employee ID as a primary key. Okay, you want to drop it. Alter table employee, drop primary key. Okay. Now see, table is altered. Now verify if the primary key employee ID is dropped or not. Is it dropped? Employee ID as a primary key?
Your column is not dropped, but that primary key is.
I'm not dropping the column, right? I'm not dropping the column. I just told that this employee ID was having this power of primary key, just drop it. That's all. So it has dropped. Now you can see not null is not mentioned here, no? Okay. So what we understood, if you want to change a column from primary key to non-primary key, you can do that as well. You have to use this drop command here. What next? Alter table employee, add constraint, PK employee primary key, first name. Any guesses? What is the purpose of this query?
First name as a primary key.
Now I want to make first name as a primary key column. Okay. So let's make last name as a primary key column. Why? Because last name you can see it's a null. Okay. If I will change this, it will become not null if it is like primary key. Let me see that. Table altered. You can verify this. Last name is not null now. How? Because we have changed that. We have added new primary key column. That is the last name. Earlier, the employee ID was the column. That's a primary key. Is this clear? Yes or no? Anyone please reply. If it is not clear, I will repeat all the things again. Clear?
But primary key.
So
we are using the combination of first name and last name as primary key.
Where? This one.
Line number 51. Yeah.
But this I have not explained now. So ignore this one. Okay. This I have not explained now. Ignore that one. Concentrate on line number 50 only. Is this clear so far?
Yeah.
Any question? Anyone? You guys are not asking question here. Okay. Now, this is the final structure of a table of my table employee. So far, which is the primary key in this table? Last name, right? Right now I've shown you that last name is the primary key. Correct? No?
Yeah.
Last name is the primary key. But now I want to add one more column, employee ID as a primary key. So now I want last name is the primary key. We have made it earlier, but now I want to make employee ID as well primary key. Okay, so I'm writing this query, alter table employee, add constant, PK employee, primary key employee ID. So I'm telling that in this employee table, now please make employee ID as a primary key. Okay, now let's see what is going to happen. Now before running this, let me execute this. Okay, I am getting some problem. In a country, is it possible to have two prime ministers?
No.
No. Hope you understood the reason for this. Table can have only one primary key. What is the meaning of this error message?
Two primary keys can't be there in same table.
And I think same question someone has asked me at the very beginning. I'm not sure who has asked, but someone has asked that Tanveer, can we add two primary key in a table? So now you got the answer for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you have understood this, create table citizen, then we have Aadhaar number, PAN card number. Okay, I am trying to create this table, citizen table. Okay, and Aadhaar number and PAN card number are the two boxes I have created. Okay, it is taking good amount of time. I think network is going bad now. Okay, anyway, sometime this Oracle platform now this will hang. Anyway, so now in this, tell me which column should I make a primary key column? Yes, which column? Have I asked any tough question that you guys are taking this much
Aadhaar
time?
number.
Other.
Anyone we can have.
Any one?
Any of the two.
Any of the two, right? So from this example, what you understood that both the candidates, both the columns Aadhaar number and PAN card are a good candidate for primary key. Correct, no? You can make any one of them as a primary key. If I will tell that I want to make Aadhaar number as a primary key, anyone is having any problem in this group? No. If I will tell that no, I want to make PAN card as a primary key, anyone who wants to object that no, Tanvi, you cannot make PAN card as a primary key.
Yeah, actually in PAN card, we used to contain that string and number.
In that perspective, you are correct. That generally number should be there. You are correct. But if I think from that unique and not null, are they both good candidate or not?
Yeah, good candidate.
They both fulfills both the conditions. They both are unique and not null values. Have you seen anyone whose PAN card number is not present? It will be present, right? So
Yeah,
they
it's
both
present.
Aadhaar number and PAN card are the perfect candidate for primary key. But question is, can I make both of them as a primary key? Suppose I am creating Aadhaar number as a primary key now. Or name already used by an existing constraint. What happened here? Table citizen add constant became employee primary key Aadhaar number. Have I name already using constraint? 1 minute. This is the problem of this. So, let me execute this one. Okay, table is altered. So now let me show you this. Citizen. Describe citizen. So now your Aadhaar number is the primary key because it is showing not null. Okay. Now I want to make PAN card as well primary key. Is that possible?
Yeah, possible.
Possible. Okay.
No, along with Aadhaar, we can add a comma primary key. Composite primary.
No, I want to make PAN card now as a primary key. Already we have Aadhaar number primary key. No, I want to make PAN card as well.
It's throw an error.
Throw error message. So from this example, what you understood that in a table, it is possible that we can have 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, which are a good candidate for primary key, but only one you have to choose for primary key. Hope this is clear now to everyone. Why I explain this? Most of the interview, they will ask this question. Can you make 2 columns as a primary key? Yes, that is possible to have 2 column, 3 column, 10 columns as a candidate for primary key. But if you are assigning primary key tag, you can assign only to 1 column. Hope this is clear now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. That is why in the citizen table, Aadhaar number, PAN card, they both are a good, ideal candidate for primary key. No one will object on this. But if you want to tag, you have to tag anyone, sir. You cannot tag both the columns. That I was trying to tag Aadhaar number as a primary key, PAN card, just throw an error message that no, Tanvi, we can assign only 1 column as a primary key. I hope this is clear now. Okay. Now here what I am trying to do, who will explain?
Composite primary key.
Composite primary key. Composite primary key. It means I am trying to make combination of two columns as a primary key. Okay, composite primary key, have I taught this or not?
No.
No, okay, then first let's discuss about the composite primary key. Then I'll move further. Suppose this is the employee table. Okay, and this is ID, the first name, and this is the last name. Okay, ID is 1, name is A, this name is name is A. 1, large, ID is 1. Okay, suppose by mistake in this table, employee, can I tell that ID is a primary key here?
No.
No.
No, why we cannot tell ID as a primary key here?
Because ID cannot uniquely identify a record.
Because we have duplicate ID here, right? Correct, okay. Now I want to give you one more example. Many students, they will get confused here. ID, Aadhaar, and then PAN card, PAN, okay. And location. PAN, location, and remove this ID one. Think and tell me very carefully, okay. Well, location is Delhi. Location is Chennai. Now, can I tell that Aadhaar is a primary key in this table?
No.
No, but right now you have told no that Aadhaar card is a primary key, then it is unique, it cannot be not null. But here you're telling that Aadhaar is not a primary key. Why?
Because here it's not unique.
It's not unique. Why it is not unique here?
1, 2, 3, 4 is coming 2 times.
Because you have 2 records. Correct?
Yeah.
So always think from table perspective. Aadhaar is a primary key, we all know, but you have to think from table perspective. In this table, from this table perspective, citizen, is Aadhaar unique? Yes or no?
No.
No, because you can see duplicate here. So you can tell that no, Aadhaar is not a primary key here. So always think from table perspective. Don't think that from global perspective, that globally everyone knows that Aadhaar is a primary key. This is unique. This cannot be not null. Boss, I am not bothered what is happening in the world. My world is my table. Is that clear? Okay. Similarly here, can I tell ID is a primary key? No, because this is duplicate. Can I tell first name is a primary key?
No.
No.
No, because this is duplicate. Can I tell last name as a primary key?
Yes.
Yes. We can tell no. Okay. Suppose we have here. Nagesh Kumar. Now, is ID a primary key? Don't waste time, guys. Please reply quickly. Is ID is a primary key?
No.
Yes
No.
or no? No. First name.
No.
Last name.
No.
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 No. So in this table, we don't have any column as a primary key, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what will happen in Lok Sabha election. You will see if any particular party is not having that much number of seats. Okay, I think 270 or something like that is there. So what they will do to make government? They will take help from other parties also, no?
Yes.
Right?
Join.
They will take, they will join, they will make some collaboration and all those things, right? Similarly, ID alone is not able to make government, that is primary key. First name alone is not able to make primary key. Last name alone is not able to make primary key. Then what will happen? First name and last name, they will go for a meeting. Okay, they will schedule a meeting. Okay. And then they will check that, okay, if we both will collaborate, can we make the conditions fulfilled for a primary key or not? No, I'm combining this two. Now, do you think this will make combination will make a primary key?
Yes.
Aman Kumar, do you have any other Aman Kumar in this table? No. Aman Raj, do you have any other Aman Raj in this table? No. Rajesh Kumar, do you have any other Rajesh Kumar in this table? No. So it means first name and last name, they both are fulfilling all the conditions of a primary key. So can I tell that first name and last name is a primary key now? So my new primary key will be first name, comma, last name. And this is known as composite primary key because you're taking the help of two columns to make a primary key. That is why this is known as composite primary key. Is this clear? I think still it is not clear. I'll give you a few more examples. Okay, suppose you have here, branch column as well. Okay, and he is Aman Kumar is studying in AC branch. Aman Raj is studying in CS branch. Rajesh Kumar is studying in mechanical branch. Okay, and then you have one more guy, Aman Kumar. Okay, and he is studying in this one. His ID is 3. And this Aman Kumar is studying in civil branch. Now, is ID a primary key? No. First name alone is a primary key? No, because Aman is duplicate here. Last name alone is a primary key? No, because Kumar is duplicate here. Branch is a primary key. So you can make branch as a primary key, but let me twist this again. Let me make this CS. Now, is the branch primary key? No, branch is not a primary key. Okay. Coming to the combination of first name and last name. Is the combination primary key now? Who will answer this?
No.
No, why?
Aman and Kumar is repeat.
Because Aman Kumar is repeated here. You have Aman Kumar, again Aman Kumar. So now you cannot make first name and last name as a primary key. But earlier you can make first name and last name as a primary key. We have seen that example. So now you can see first name and last name, if they will come and they will challenge that, okay, we will make primary key. So you can tell that, no, you cannot make because Aman Kumar, the value is duplicate here. And for primary key, we will not accept duplicate records. This is the justification you are going to give, right? Now tell me what to do. So in this table, I want to make primary key. What I have to do, guys? This is the problem I am facing.
We can couple last name and branch or first name with branch.
So what we will do, we will add first name, last name and branch now. Okay. Aman Kumar EC. Do you have any record Aman Kumar EC? This is Aman Kumar CS. This is different. So now you will make a combination of first name, last name and branch as a primary key. Now your primary key will be first name, last name, comma, branch. Now this is known as composite primary key. Why I've told you this example? Because there is no limitation that how many columns you want to add for a primary key. You can combine 3 columns, 4 columns, 5, 6, whatever you want. You can go with that. Okay, so this is known as composite primary key. Any question on this? Shall I repeat this again? Composite primary key concept. Anyone who wants me to repeat this?
No,
this is clear. Okay. Now, so here that is what I was telling you, that if you want to make combination of 2 columns as a composite primary key, you can make it. Okay, but the name will be primary key only. But as a user defined, you used to take composite primary key. We will speak that this is composite primary key. In the interviews, they will ask you this question: what is the difference between primary key and composite primary key? Okay, and then you have a concept of surrogate key as well. That I will explain in that ETL class when it happens in SCDs. We need to discuss. Okay. So this is the difference between primary key and composite primary key. Functional wise, they both are same. The only difference is if you're making combination of 2, 3, 4 columns, then that will be known as composite primary key. Hope this is clear to everyone. you guys are not asking questions. That's a problem. Object employee does not exist. I think I have dropped this earlier. Now again, I'm going back to the main our original table, employee table. This is the table. Okay. Now someone has asked me a question that Tanvir, if I want to add a column, suppose the requirement is they're telling my business is telling that, okay, you have employee ID, first name, last name, but you want to add date of birth column as well, or whatever column, gender column, or whatever you want. I want to add that. So this is the syntax. Alter table employee add. So date of birth is the new column I want to add, and this is the data type. So if you will execute this, you will see that a new column with the name date of birth will be added in this table, and this is the data type. Table is altered. Now, if you want to cross verify, you can check describe employee table. Let me execute this. Now, do you have this new column date of birth here? It's visible. Okay. So you got this new column. Similarly, suppose someone, Pritish, told me that, no, Tanvir, I want to add gender column. So Pritish, tell me the syntax, how you can add gender column in this employee table.
Alter table.
Alter table.
Employee. Add. Gender. Varchar 2.
I'll take some size 50 or whatever it is. Okay. Okay, let me execute if Pritish has told the correct query or not. Table is altered. Okay, let me verify if we have got the new column gender here. Okay, so this is fine. Pritish has told the correct query. Now we have a new column gender here, so you can add a new column as well. Okay.
And here we can, while adding to alter query, can we add check constraint as well here?
Check constraint as well you can do. I will tell you that how to add check constraint and all
along
these things.
with check constraint.
Okay. You can add that as well. First of all, I'm telling you a very basic one, that what all you can do. Then we'll see some twist part in that if data is there, which one will throw error message and all those things. That is why on a safer side, I told you that always, whenever you're trying to alter a table, I'm telling from a safer side, many of this key alter command will work. Okay. But on a safer side, if you're working on something very critical data, don't take risk. Take the backup first of all in some local table, temporary table. Once once you have altered this, then take then copy the data again in this parent table. Okay. Someone was asking question. Yeah.
One more question I have. Suppose if you wanted to change the role, swap the role of the primary key constant to one column to another column. And we need to so first we need to upload that primary key constant from the column which is having actually, and then only we have to do we can add the primary key to another column, or is there any other way? Because if we add another primary key to the different column in the same table, so to throw the error, right? So first we need to remove it, or then we have to add it, right?
Correct. That is what I have shown you here. You are totally correct. That is what I have shown you here. That first of all, you have to drop that. You are totally correct. You have asked the question and you have told the answer as well. First of all, you have to drop the primary key, whatever is present earlier on the table. Then you can add a new primary key, because if there is existing primary key and if you're trying to add a new primary key, you know that it will throw error message. That is why first of all you have to drop it, and then you can add a new primary key. Again, dropping a primary key is very risky. Why? Because maybe some other table is referring this. What is the meaning of referring? Let me tell you that. If you remember, we were studying about the joins. You all remember the joins, or you forget? I think you guys are you're not revising the concepts. Keep on revising, guys. Okay, otherwise you will forget all those things. And then you will tell that Tanvir has not taught us properly. 1, 2, 3. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. 10, 20, 30. See, here what is happening? No, so this, if you guys remember, we have discussed this table in joins, okay, and then I told you that I want, my principal is asking, I want name and marks, and I told you that, okay, you have to join a student and score table, right? On which column you will join both these tables?
ID.
ID, right? We will join with the ID column, right? This column you will join. So it means your score table will refer this ID column with this ID of a student table, right? So that's why this is known as foreign key constraint. It means for this score, this ID of a student is a foreign key because it is referring to this. Okay. Now, if we will change the ID of this in this student table, you want to change ID. You want, suppose you want to make ID to name. Okay. You change your mind and you thought that no, let's make name as primary. Assume, okay, assume. I know this is not a good idea because always name number should be primary key, but suppose something happened and you thought that, okay, now let's make name as a primary key. Now you are making name as a primary key. So when you will try to make name as a primary key, your SQL will throw error message. Why it will throw error message? Because your score table, you have made a joining condition and this ID is referring to this ID as a primary key. And now you are changed to this. So this will throw error message. Okay. So that is why when some other table is having dependency on this table, okay, and you are trying to delete that table or change the primary key, so this child table will start shorting. Okay, and then you will get error message that you cannot delete this primary table. You will get an error message that referential key constraint violated. This is known as primary key foreign key relation and you cannot delete it there. That is why changing primary key, dropping primary key, it's a very risky affair. You have to be very careful that what all child tables are referring to this parent table for joining condition. Sometime what will happen on your report, the numbers will not be shown correctly. Okay, you have disturbed this primary key. Okay, and sometime will happen that this is not thrown error message, but on the fact tables, access layer tables, or the views, you will not be getting the correct numbers. And finally on the report, number will be incorrect or missing. Then your business stakeholders, they will shout that, oh, why this number is not coming, and you will get escalations and the production issues will come into picture. And that is why you have to be very careful with this alter command, dropping a primary key, removing, changing, and all those things. Is that clear? Have I answered your question, what you have asked? Or I answered something different?
Yeah, Tanvir. One more question I have, Tanvir. This is out of context.
Tell me.
So suppose I have a table, some table employee, okay, and down the line there are many other tables getting created through or referring to that employee table. And
okay,
how we could know that which all table or which all queries they are using it, my particular table. Can we get any way to list out that how many tables, how many queries it is referring to my particular table?
Okay, I'm not sure I understood your question correctly or not. So I think you are asking that, Tanvir, I have this employee table, this is parent table, and then I have many child tables who are referring to this parent table. Is this your question? Then how I will come to know that whether this is how many child tables are there which is referring to this parent table. I think that is the question you have asked.
Yeah.
Okay. So on Oracle, if you are working, very simple way is there. Just hover your mouse over this. Okay. Hover your mouse over the table name, whatever is present. Right click, and then you will get the option of describe table. DSC table will be there. Okay. Then just click on that or leave all this story. Simple thing I will tell you. Again, go here, right click on the table. You will get the option of show a structure, something like that. Click on that and it will show you all the constraint. And in that constraint, there will be a referential key constraint. That referential key constraint will tell you that this table is having how many child tables. That is the best way. So if you're working on Oracle, you try it today. Okay, you will just right click on that, and again a new window will be shown here at the main frame. Okay, and you will see all that. Then there will be a tab, a small tab at the top. Click on that constraint one. If you click on the constraint, it will show you all the child tables which are related to this parent table. Okay. Is that the question you're asking?
Yeah. Okay. Is there any query kind of
user tables? If you want to go with the query, you select a star from user tables or user constraints. Okay. Few other queries were also there, but I cannot remember all those things because these things are used very rarely. But I will search and I will share with you. Few other were there. I think I have mentioned in
And
this.
your
I
voice
don't
is
remember.
breaking back.
Still the voice is breaking. Hello. Hello. Is my voice breaking again?
Now it's better.
Okay. That is what I told
Now
you,
it's
that if
better.
you want to go with the queries, you have that queries selected star from user table, user constraints, and all those things. Okay. But you try this one today. Okay. You try this one, user constraints, and then user table is there. Then show all tables are there, and let me know. Okay. If it is not, if you're not getting the desired result, then we will discuss on that again. Okay. Is my voice audible now? Hello.
Yes, Tanvir, it's audible.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So, guys, that was good discussion. So I think we have discussed a little bit about this. A few more points are remaining, but I don't want to cover this in a very fast track manner. Let's discuss the remaining points tomorrow. Okay, and we'll cover all this. So today is Wednesday. No, today's Wednesday. We have Thursday, Friday, 2 days. But I know these 2 days are not enough to complete the points. Okay, I have to take a few more classes. Saturday and Sunday, 7 to 8. Are you all available?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone is available, and I'm really sorry that I have extended this class. I think I promised for 3 to 4 weeks, but it has moved more than that. Okay. Next time I'm planning that I will publicly announce that I will take 6 to 7 weeks time. Okay. So okay, fine. So fine, guys. So I just
Sunday we
thought
can
of
stretch more hours.
Sunday. Sunday actually, no, 9 I have another batch. So that's why 7 to 8 I will take your batch. Okay, and then 9 I have other batch.
Okay.
So otherwise it will become very hectic for me. I'm sorry. But again,
Yeah.
even if you think that in Sunday, if it is not getting over, no, we will again schedule another class. Okay, don't worry about that. But I don't want to disturb the pace at which we are moving. So don't get confused with that. Perfect. That's all, guys. And this is very important topic. Don't miss. Generally, what happens when the session will be at the ending phase, as soon as they lose their interest, I don't know why they lose interest in all those things, but don't skip this one. This is very important part. Okay. And I think more than me, you all know this is important. Try to attend the class for this. Okay. Yeah.
Overend partition will get covered, right?
Partition I have not covered now. That will be covered here in rank, dense rank, sum over, row number, lead, lag. I will cover. I have not covered that so far. I'll cover all those things here. Partition by, order by, and many other things are there. Yeah, we'll discuss all those things. One thing I want to highlight quickly, now from today onwards, what all questions I'm giving you, I want you all to try on this platform on Microsoft SQL Server, whichever you want. So suppose I am given any query. Okay, you have written some query. So after that, suppose the output of this query is this one. Suppose, okay. So what you have to do, take a screenshot, copy this one like this, okay, and then take a screenshot of this entire result and query together and paste that in an Excel sheet. Then share the assignment with me. I don't want that edited version only. Okay. Fine, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.